W.F. Howes presents an unabridged recording of Spring Blossoms at Mill Grange by Jenny Kane, narrated by Emma Powell. Prologue, Monday, March the 9th. Helen cradled the stone in her palm. The size of a cookie, grey in colour, it was jagged on one side and smooth on the other. Once upon a time it had been part of the bedrock, a tiny fragment of the geology that had formed the basis of the village of Upwich and its surrounds. Now, however, it felt like the most precious possession she'd ever owned. She hadn't had the heart to tell Dylan that it wasn't an exciting find from the Roman fortlet they were excavating in Mill Grange's garden. The 5-year-old had been so thrilled to be able to help his dad, Tom, when they'd peeled the tarpaulin off the archaeological site after a frosty winter, that when he'd picked up the stone and run to her, his face wide with pleasure, she'd held it with a reverence normally reserved for the crown jewels. The boy's eyes had got wider and wider as she told him about the land beneath Exmoor, how it had formed, and how the stone he'd found was part of that. Helen had been conscious of Tom's eyes on her as his son had sat on her knee and listened with rapt attention to every word she said. Laying the stone back on her desk, tucked neatly in the corner of the storeroom, Helen sighed. She'd come to Mill Grange to take a break from the pressures of her management job. She had not come to fall in love, especially not with Tom, a man with a horrendous track record with women. And a son. Chapter 1, Monday, March the 16th. Do you honestly think I'll need 18 pairs of knickers? It's the Cotswolds, not the Kalahari. Thea scooped the entire contents of her underwear drawer onto the bed as Sean flung open a suitcase. No, I think you'll need 30 pairs or more, but as you only have 18, then pack them. Seriously? Thea eyed some of her older undies with suspicion. The greying fabric had been consigned to the back of the drawer to be used in emergencies only, although now she thought about it, she wasn't sure what that emergency might be. An archaeological excavation in the middle of nowhere, perhaps? You know what it's like on a dig. Laundry facilities only happen to other people. A flushing toilet can be a luxury sometimes. Won't the local village have a laundrette? It's the Cotswolds, Thea. The people who can afford to live there don't need laundrettes. Sean winked. I tend to wring out my smalls in the nearest public toilet sink or a bucket of cold water. Thea laughed. I used to do that.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?